special level 2 member request. Thank you very much for that. With this song, I'm just going to be keeping it in a standard tuning. Nice and easy, just E, A, D, G, B, E. And thing with this one, there's at times up to maybe like 3 guitars over the top of each other here. A lot of times 2. And they're kind of like different vibes. Like one's like a pretty clean but has like a tremolo effect on it. And the other one's kind of more of an overdriven thing, and then it gets really kind of heavy with the overdrive towards the end, the outro. So kind of up to you how you want to play it if you're just one guitar. But I'll show you all the parts here. The initial verse section, this first bit, it's kind of that tremolo vibe. I'll keep the tremolo off just so you can hear the chord as clear as possible. But it starts here with just a B flat major chord. And I kind of like to keep these all just kind of like right here. It makes it a little easier to get to. So I'll do this voicing here, the bar version, the 6E, 8 on the A and D, and then a 7G. Don't really need like the whole full thing, just kind of down to like the E through the G string there. Okay, nice and simple, just hit it, let it go. Then we move over to a D minor. So just gotta drop down a fret and a set of strings. We got the 5A, 7D, and G with the 6B. Same deal, hit it, let it ring. Alright, and then we want a G minor. So then we just drop down 2, bar the 3, down to the G. That's all we really need. And then have the 5 on the A and D. Alright, and then this next chord, it's kind of a funky one. Gets a little bit distant here. And it varies throughout, like each time we go through this, there might be a subtle little thing. The initial time through, we just come up and we do this. It's an E flat major 7 vibe, but it has like this sharp 11 thing going on. And basically you would just hit the 6 on the A and then the 7 on the D and G. Okay, it's kind of a, a mystery dissonance thing hanging there. And like I said, it'll vary a little bit. Like if you go to like the second verse, it'll do this bit where it'll have that 6 on the A and the 7D, but then it throws in this G note, so you could just throw in like an open G with that. Like you'll hear that too for that chord in like later verses. So it's kind of up to you what you want to do there. Either just the 7s on the D and G with the 6E or 6A, or just leave that G string open. Up to you. Kind of all the same vibe really. But that would just kind of loop throughout the initial section. And like I said, there's a second guitar over the top of this, and it's doing, like a subtle overdriven palm muted thing. And it's just basically hitting like the power chords of each spot we were just at. So it'll do the B flat power chord, the 6E, 8 on the A and D there. And like I said, it's palm muted, so you just kind of lightly have your edge of your hand past the bridge here touching it. And it's basically going like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Something like that, right? Alright. And it'll go through that a couple times at that B flat spot. Then it'll move over to the D position, so the 5A, 7 on the D and G there. Same deal. Alright. Then to the G, the 3E, 5 on the A and D there, same thing. Alright, just 1 for that. And then to the E flat, the 6A, 8 on the D and G, same deal. Alright, and once we get to the, I guess you would call this the chorus section, pretty sure it's the chorus. 3 chords here for the first guitar, and it does, I drop down here now for this B flat major 7. So we do 1A, 3D, 2G, 3B, and it's kind of the same deal, just hit it and let it ring. Chords are a little bit closer here, so we just hit that, give it 1 measure, and then up to a C sus2, so 3A, 5 on the D and G, 3B. And then we want just a straight up E flat major 7. So just come up here, do the 6A, 8D, 7G. Alright, and those 3 chords will just repeat for the chorus. And the second guitar over the top of that is just doing the power chords, palm muted. So I just come back here to the B flat, the same spots we had before, the 6 with the 8s. and it just does it once there with the B flat, and then to the C, so 3A, 5 on the D and G, same strum. Then it takes it up to the E flat, the 6A, 8 D and G there, and this spot we stay on for 2. Alright, and then for the chorus there's a third guitar, and this is kind of like an overdriven thing, but it's not like really in your face or anything. It's a bit subtle and kind of back, but it's doing these arpeggiated bits through those chords, and it starts here at that B flat major 7, so we're going to pick the 1A, 3D, 3B, 2G, okay, up to the C sus2, so we go 3A, 5D, 5G, back to the 5D, not really hitting that sus on this one, just kind of the power chord, and then we want this E flat major 7, and I kind of drop down to this spot for that, where I'll do like the 1 on the D, open G to 3G, back to the 1D, come on up, hit the 3B, back to the 3G, 3B, 3G, okay, we kind of let that first 3B hang a little bit and then get back to it. Then we'll do this 1A, open D, 2G, kind of hold that just a moment, back to the open D. Alright, to the C sus2, so 3A, 5D, hit that 3 on the B to the 5G. Alright, and then back to our E flat, so 1D, open G. Alright, then we'll hit our 3B, 3B, 3G. And then at the end of the first chorus, we'll hit the 3B, then hit a 2G. Okay, so it's kind of this little walk into the next section. But once we get to the second chorus, we'll just cycle through it without hitting that 2G. We just hit another 3 on the G. And then just start it over. So it'll just cycle through a couple times once we get to the later choruses, but that first chorus, it'll just kind of end like that on that 2 of the G. After that, we get to, I guess, a post-chorus section interlude thing, and it's the 2 guitars, but you can play this as one pretty easy, where we'll just hit a G minor, so the 3E, 5A, and D, 3G, and then there's this subtle like couple hits on a palm muted power chord, so the 3E and 5A there, and it's just 1, 2. Alright, then we move down to an F sharp or G flat here, so same, just down a fret, and then we add the 3 on the G, alright, with that 4D, 4A, 2E. Hit the couple power chords, the 2 and the 4. Alright, and coming up to our E flat major 7, so the 6A, 8D, 7G, and when we hit that, we give that 7G a little bend and release, and then hit the power chords there, the 6 and the 8, and then just finish by hitting the C sus2, the 3A, 5D, and G, 3B. Alright, and then we get back into either the verse again or into the outro section. And once we get to that outro section, you can just kind of kick on to overdrive. Everything gets a little bit bigger and, you know, heavier. But the chords going on there, we just switch to power chords here, and we do G power chords, so 3E, 5A, and D. And it's kind of strum, strum, 1, 2, 1, 2, strum, strum. And that's kind of the strum that we want for all these chords. And then we just take it down to the G flat or F sharp at the 2 with the 4s, same deal. Then we want an E flat power chord, and I like to compound this a bit with an extra bass note just to get it bigger. So we'll come up to the 6A, 8 on the D and G, but I also throw in the 6E just to put that extra B flat on top. Same strum. And then just take that shape there, drop it down to the C, the 3A, 5D, and G with the extra G on top, so the 3E there. then from there, it's pretty straightforward, just some solo stuff, and you should be ready to go.